Hey guys, welcome to Insights with Anastasia. Today we're going to talk about data analyst roadmap for beginners. I will explain what are the steps you need to take in order to become a data analyst in 2025 as fast as possible. Step number one, preparation phase. So this is what you start doing from the day zero. Basically, you should start with answering some of the questions that will be very important along the road. So first of all, what type of data analyst do you want to be? So where do you want to work and what type of data do you want to analyze? So for example, it can be marketing and can be finance, can be healthcare. So you should understand what field you're gonna work in and what, for example, what field you would love to working in. So in my case, I already work in digital marketing and I have a degree in marketing. So basically, I have a lot of business understanding in marketing field. So I didn't have to think long to choose the field that I want to be. So let's say you don't have any relevant experience in a field that you would like to work as a data analyst. Let's say it's going to be finance, and you have not worked in finance before. So what you should do, you should go on LinkedIn and find 5, 7 job openings, like a data analyst in finance, some roles that you like, some roles that you would love to apply once you get the skills you need. So once you get your 5 tools and skills that you need for a data analyst in finance, you can go to the next step. Step 2. This is the learning phase that will take some time. It depends on your background, on your education, and just your speed of learning speed, and those type of things. Sometimes it takes months, sometimes it takes years, depending on where you are right now, how much free time do you have, and just like how passionate you are about becoming a data analyst. So for me personally, it took me a little bit longer. It took me a couple of years, only because I didn't have much time. As I mentioned on my previous videos, I was on maternity leave. I was taking care of a newborn. I had like a couple of hours during the day where I could learn and dedicate this time to learning some skills and techniques. That's why for me it was so much longer than just a few months that probably would take you if you do it like more than a couple of hours a day. So step number 2, as I said, this is a learning phase. You will start with the list of requirements and skills that you got from your first phase. And once you have those skills, you should prioritize them and start with the tool or technique that is maybe the easiest for you, or maybe something that you already know. Let's say it's going to be, for example, it's Excel, right? So you start with Excel and you see the requirements for this what kind of techniques you need to know in Excel. It can be pivot tables and can be different functions. So you should start practicing them. But the way you practice it shouldn't be like a taking courses or like reading books. It is like a courses and books. It's a good source of information, but the main way to get those skills should be your practical studies and projects. So for example, once you start with the Excel, you should go online and find real business problems that you would like to solve with Excel. For example, maybe you want to clean the data, or maybe you want to do some regression analysis, or maybe you want to do some grouping aggregation and just to present some of the aggregated data with the maybe some highlights. So should be really something that you would do as a data analyst in a working environment. And once you finish your first project, you should go ahead and publish your project, basically create some sort of visualizations for it, or some sort of summary where you explain what the business problem was, what you did to achieve to solve the problem, and then what the result was and how it can help businesses to optimize their performance, or how to help them solve a particular problem. So, and then once you have everything ready, you can post this project. Let's say it can be kaggle.com, it can be GitHub, or it even can be like a Google Docs where you just save your small presentation of your analysis and recommendations and the results. And this is going to be something that you will then include in your resume. Your learning phase will be something that you will doing multiple times. For example, you started with Excel, you did a couple of projects in Excel, you feel confident that you know like a basics of Excel, and you know things that mentioned in a job openings, job descriptions that you need to know for the role. Then you go ahead and start with the next skills that is a priority in your list. And once you know 2 or 3 tools, once you know how to work with them, and you have maybe a few 4 or 5 projects, you can actually go to the next phase. Step number 3: resume preparation and networking. Once you have 2, 3 tools that you confident with, you know how to use them, and they are important for the roles that you selected on the step 1, you should start creating your resume, building resume, putting relevant skills and experiences and all the projects that you've done during this learning phase into your resume, as well as the creating your LinkedIn profile or updating your LinkedIn profile, starting networking with other people who are in the same field, maybe with other learners who wants to be a data analyst. So this is a great opportunity to create kind of a relevant professional environment that will pay off once you start looking for a job. So what I did on this phase, I connected with other people who wanted to be a data analyst. I talked to them. We would create like different chats where we would like, it was like learning SQL chat where we would just talk to each other, helped each other to solve different business problems, different SQL query problems. We would ask how other people did that, ask for help. This is really collaborative and very supportive environment that I had, fortunately. And I recommend you find some people like that and start building projects and working with them to have some support and encouragement from them. Now, once you have your resume ready, once you have your LinkedIn profile updating and your networking starting to kind of develop, your networking, you're talking to people, this is the time for step 4. Step number 4: start practicing interview questions and applying for a job. Here's the tricky thing here. Usually it's really tough to start, especially for some people who are not confident in their skills, or maybe some people who had some uh, previous difficult experience finding a job. Or for example, in my case, it was a long career break. I was in a maternity leave, and I was a little bit I wasn't confident enough that I have the skills and the knowledge to apply for a job. So I didn't for a long time, and I wish I would start earlier. So as I said before, once you have everything ready, just start practicing questions. Find some questions on the internet, practice them, record them, use the mirror to answer the questions. If you have some opportunity, if you have someone who can help you in practicing interview skills, that's great. You can practice with them. If you don't have anyone, as I said, use Miro, use like video recording or audio recording just so you can go back and listen to your answer and maybe correct yourself and improve your interview skills. And as I already said, start applying for a job, even if it's a little bit earlier, even if you're not 100% sure. And I said you might not never feel 100% confident and sure that you are ready. That's fine. Start before you're ready. That's a key here. And once you start applying for a job, you will get some interviews and you will start actually practicing answering interview questions. You will see what you still need to learn based on those responses from the recruiters and hiring managers. And also you will get some feedback and you will have more information to work on. So please don't skip this phase, don't skip this apply first applications, because it's really important for you to get ready for your first data analyst role. Now, to make your life easier, so as I said, you can go and start the process with the finding the skills and techniques that you need to know for your specific field, specific roles that you like. But I think generally, if you want to start data analyst, if you want to be a data analyst, you need to know at least three tools. And I'm gonna tell you what tools you need to know. So as you probably guessed, the first tool that you must know is Excel. Well, just because everyone uses this tool, like starting from the like a small business to the multinational companies, they all use Excel at some point in their process of data analysis or data preparation, cleaning, anything. Excel is must have for data analyst role. That's it. You might think, oh, I don't like Excel, it's so outdated, but it's not. Really, it's not. People know how to use Excel. People got a lot of people have had experience with Excel, so usually it's just something you must know regardless of whether you like it or not. So the next skill is SQL or SQL, whatever you prefer to name it, call it. Uh, so basically, you are not a data analyst if you can't extract data from the database. So in order to work with the databases and extracting data and manipulating data, you have to know SQL. That's the end of the explanation, unfortunately or fortunately, because, well, you probably can't do much analysis using Excel, but Excel is something you will have to use daily, especially if you work with the big data and the databases. So this is like the second most important skills that you need to learn. So the third thing you need to know for data analyst role is some type of data visualization tool platform. So it can be Looker, Tableau, Power BI, anything and everything that will help you to visualize your data and to present it in a more visual way. So you can choose any tool. Again, you can choose a tool that you already know or have some familiarity with, or something that is easy for you to learn, and that's totally fine. You don't have to pick a tool that is, I don't know, other people are using on their roles. But obviously, once you did this research and analysis on a step one, when you look at the different job openings, you can see what are the requirements there. Do they usually need Tableau? Do they usually need Power BI? But it really depends on the company. There is no way to say that Tableau is probably one that you will use most of the time. For example, in my experience, I started learning Tableau during my data analyst journey, but honestly, I never used Tableau in my professional life. It was like either Power BI or Looker or other types of data visualization like Domo on and other things. You just need to know how to visualize data, how to use different sources like Excel, maybe some of the databases and different types of data sources to get data. and then to manipulate in your visualization tool and to present it in a more visual way that people can easily understand. Now, I just want to talk to you a little bit about what I regret I didn't do during my data analyst journey. So first thing, I wish I started doing practical projects as soon as possible. That's why I basically created this YouTube channel and trying to encourage you guys go ahead and start with the practical tech skills, because this is really helpful. This is something that works. I started taking different courses, like SQL, Python courses, like I don't even remember anything from those courses now, but I know it took me maybe a year to go over those courses. But once I started doing practical projects, I was much more confident in my skills. I could do more things, and basically it was much faster way to learn skills that I need for data analyst role. And the second thing that I regret is that I really was not sure. I was I was hesitant to start applying for data analyst roles, and it took me a while to feel ready. And honestly, I never felt ready because I just pushed myself to do that, and I wish I did it earlier in my journey. So maybe I already had like a more experience for the if I would start it earlier. It's just something that people sometimes struggle with. They wait for a moment when they feel confident. And I think this is especially true for women. They tend to look at the job description and they want to be 100% a match for this job description. But honestly, this is never possible. And I think even if it is possible and if it is true, if you are 100% matched to a role that you're applying, that's probably not the best role for you because you don't have any opportunity for growth. You don't have anything that you want to learn in this role. It's going to be boring, and I don't know, you're going to leave this job soon. So that's it for today. Thank you for watching my video. I hope this data analyst roadmap will help you to become a data analyst as fast as possible. All right. Thank you guys. Bye.